Hello, and welcome to episode 236 of Flix and a Six, like a holy confession where the only absolution is fermentation. I'm one of your hosts, Anthony Costanzo, with me forever and always, the man, the myth, the southern gentleman of suds, Alessandro Biolsi. Say hello, Al.
Young, dumb, and full of Christ.
On this week's episode, we've got trailers galore, shrinking, Oscars, and other nonsense, all before driving into our flick of the week, Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. But first, Al, what are we drinking?
We are drinking a understandably older beer. Just all things considered, how our last couple of years have gone. This is New Trail's Double Broken Heels. It is a double hazy IPA. It features Citra and Mosaic hops. It's got notes of candied grapefruit and light tropicals. It
has all the tropicals?
Light.
Only the light ones.
Light. No, it's got medium to heavy tropicals. It's got high aromatics, but soft bitterness. Pack the essentials. It's 9.2% alcohol by volume. Ooh. Unfortunately, it's only 12 ounces. But it is brewed in Williamsport, PA.
I'm okay with the 12 ounces for the 9.2.
That's fair. Although if you're just drinking the one beer, I think you'll be okay.
That's fair. It's got my faves. It's got those citrus, it's got those mosaics.
I know you love those. I do not remember grapefruit. I do not remember the provenance of this beer. I don't remember why we have this one for this episode. Really? I don't remember if I gave this to you. I don't remember if you gave this to me. No recollection of this place.
I definitely did not give this to you. Brewed in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Why do we have this?
I don't know. It's been too long. I don't remember.
If this is from one of our other cousins, if you would kindly let us know.
It's also possible this was a gift because Mike does occasionally just drop us off a care package. So it might have been from him. I honestly don't remember. I remember he gave us. I remember he gave us was the Cloud9 one. That one definitely was him, but that's not the only one he's given us. There's some fun can art. It's got some. I love the can art. It's got some. What's it called? What the hell are the name of those lines on a map? The gradation of the terrain. There's a name for that, and I'm totally...
The topography?
Topography, that's the word. Yeah. It's got some topography lines. It's got an old school, like, Wild Wild West style or Bugs Bunny style.
Yeah, I do like those. It is very Albuquerque.
This way to Albuquerque.
Yeah.
There's a Loyal Sock, Susquehanna River, and PA Grand Canyon. And there's a little pack alongside of the pack your essentials. So
I do like the pack.
It's overall it's a solid can.
I like the boot.
Yeah, the logo is a footprint of a boot, and in the heel of the boot is a hop cone, not a artichoke or whatever it was that Mike or Gianna was saying last episode.
Okie dokie artichokey.
I'm looking forward to giving this a taste. This
smells incredible.
Mine had a robust head. I mean, I know I had I forget what this type of glass is. You can see it, but this is a classic IPA type of glass. But I had it in this, and it had a robust head when I poured it a few minutes ago.
Nice. Mine did not, but it smells wonderful.
Oh, wow. That does smell like grapefruit. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And I can't smell shit, so.
Cheers.
Cheers. That tastes like what it said on the can.
Yeah, it tastes like I do not feel lied to.
No, this is very genuinely representative of what I would have expected a hazy double IPA of Citra and Mosaic varietals. So
I gotta say, this is what I'm like. So it's got the right amount of hazy, which we both appreciate. But this to me also has the quality that I would describe as juicy, not what they say on all the cans that say juicy and then it's not.
I mean, it's definitely juicy. Yeah, sometimes it feels like it's an aspiration on the label, but
we wish to be juicy.
And that's not to be confused with Aspiration, the brewery, which we both love after your trip with us to the last functional Brewfest. But no, this is definitely juicy in the way that a New England style IPA should be. It's strong to quite strong. This is I'm gonna jump right to it. I'm gonna say this is 3 thuckles.
It's Trace Thucks all day.
This is the firmest of thuckles that you can have. This is 3 thuckles.
The firmest of thuckles. Now wait, so now the thuckles have varying degree of firmness. I don't like that.
There's
those
those graphs that like chart things versus multiple different. So not only is there a scale of quantity, but there's like a Mohs scale of hardness, like in like minerals. They're minerals.
Yep. They're minerals, Marie.
They're minerals, Marie. There you could have a squishy thuck, or you could have a firm thuck. This is a firm thuck. There's no osteoporosis in these thuckles. These thuckles are rock hard.
They drank their milk.
They are fortified in calcium.
I give this 3 fortified thucks. My God, how did we get here?
This is what happens when we don't record every week.
This is what happens, Larry. Wonderful. Why don't we just dive right into some news and nuggets then?
It's a good call.
Lots of trailers dropped.
Yeah, why don't you leave that off? Because I had 2 on my mind, but you said galore, so that means you've got more than I did.
So the one that I saw today, which I don't know if it actually came out today, and I probably should have sent it your way, was the teaser for Daredevil Born Again Season 2.
I didn't watch it. I saw there was a teaser trailer out, but there's a thing that's been happening where it's like there's a teaser, but then there's other ones where there's a teaser of the fact that there's going to be a trailer.
So that drives me so nuts.
I saw that. I was like, oh, I should check that out. Then I think in my head I was thinking, because the mall trailer, which we're going to talk about, they released a teaser for the trailer before the trailer, which is what I sent you the day before. So I didn't watch that one. And I think in my mind I was like, oh, I'll just wait till the real trailer comes out. And it sounds like there was one and I didn't see it. So super excited for Daredevil. Didn't see the trailer. Tell me about it.
So, and it is by all accounts a teaser, but they got some delicious nuggets in there. So
spicy nuggets.
We see Matt and Karen kind of seemingly back together, hopefully, which will be nice.
That continuing that unspoken thing.
Yep. We see Jessica Jones re-entering.
So we do officially get her in this. I mean, we know she's going to be in it, but
but she's officially in it. She's in a handful of scenes in the trailer, which is nice. We also get a Foggy, which is, it could be anything type of thing. The representation of Foggy on screen in the teaser is clearly old Foggy. It's like he's got the longer hair. He's a little heavier because, I mean, I don't know if you remember how he looked, but Foggy looking slick.
He definitely looked slimmer when he came back for the show, but I couldn't remember if he had like lost weight during the original run of the show, if he was like a little like huskier early on and had already slimmed up a bit by the final season. I actually don't remember. So
so they like, they show him, but it could obviously, and it seems like the scene that they are showing you it feels like it would be a flashback type sequence. That being said,
archival footage.
It is a storyline that he fakes his death. So
I know, and they've played coy with whether or not that's what they're going for or not, because they've said definitively
back, no, and they run away.
So, and you never know with these sorts of things too, where it's like, does the trailer have 90% of what his actual screen time is going to be?
Right.
It's like, wow, man, he was in 15 seconds of this 1.5-minute trailer. He's going to be in a lot of the show. It's like, he's only actually got 90 seconds of screen time.
We call that the executive decision.
Yeah, as you've chronicled on this podcast.
It sits with me so strongly. But yeah, I'm excited. Seeing him, doing his thing back in the suit. He is, Charlie Cox is a pretty solid Matt Murdock, and I really love this portrayal of Daredevil. Obviously, we get your clips of Fisk and Vanessa and all this stuff, and a couple of clips of Fisk in a boxing ring. I'm not quite sure where it's going, but he's known to beat the pulp out of people. I don't need much. I don't need any more.
No, just tell me what it is and let's put it on my calendar.
I think it was March. I want to say it was March 26th.
Okay. I knew it was Sometimes it was like March or April. So yeah, that makes sense. Which was a much faster turnaround, I think, than we realized initially. But by the time that the last season ended, we knew that they had already, unlike like every other show now, except for The Bear and like one or two other things, they had actually already started shooting the second season by the time they were airing the first season, which doesn't happen very much anymore.
Yeah, they should get back to that because it's kind of nice. I was like pleasantly surprised. Like it was like this drops with the date, and I was like, oh, right, awesome. And then like we're getting other stuff this week, and like I just feel like a lot of stuff is starting to roll out, and I'm very excited for so much of it.
Yeah. Unlike something like Pluribus, which was greenlit for a second season before the first episode aired, or the week the first episode aired, was very successful, was critically acclaimed, people watched it. But it was like, not only had they not started shooting the second season, but it's like, we're still a bit away from starting to shoot the second season, where it's like, it's going to be fully 2 years, if not more, until the next season comes out.
Oh, man. Let's bounce back and forth. What trailers do you have?
Well, the next one we should probably talk about is the one that you watched right before we started, which is the Maul, was it the Shadow Lord? Was that what it was?
Yes.
Lord of Shadows? One of those things?
Lord of Shadow. Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord.
It's
got all the punctuation. There's a Nicolas Cage Lord of War joke in there.
You remember that? That was the whole... Did you see that movie?
Yes.
Was it the Warlord? Lord of War. I like my way better.
This title's got everything.
Did I tell you, or did Gianna tell you that that's one of the things I got her for Christmas?
Yes. Which is wonderful. This trailer,
Maul.
Maul, obviously a character we all love. Very, very just badass. But to just amplify this, the art style of this show looks tremendous, and I'm here for it.
I think it was from someone who had, or a studio or a creator who had worked in like anime stuff in the past, and I think it looked like almost a fusing of more that style with the Clone Wars style. It's like if the two of them had been intermingled together, which is really cool
and very cyberpunk.
Yeah,
like the coloring,
and it really works for that story and that whole idea of that gritty Star Wars underground situation. Yep. So,
which I'm absolutely here for, and it's just like the
also Maul works. Maul works in animation, right? You want him to be the most acrobatic and ridiculous, and it's hard to justify and even execute that in live action. I mean, they did great jobs, and Ray Park did a great job in the first movie. Yeah.
That like beautiful ballet that he does.
Yeah, because he's a sensational stuntman and martial artist, but he would work best in animation because there's no holds barred as to what you can make that character do when you're creating it yourself.
Right.
So I think that's a really good fit for him, and it's a cool storyline to tell. And considering his total amount of screen time now is well exceeded his live action with his animated and with the style between the Clone Wars and Rebels, this is the right format for him to be in. I mean, it'd be cool to get him back in if they ever were going to revisit it in the live action with that whole storyline post Solo, but this is probably the better format.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you remind me, it's been a minute since I watched Rebels and you have a longer tail memory of these things. Was that the end of Maul?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. To refresh and spoiler for anyone who has not watched Rebels and wants to watch Rebels. So, right, chronologically, he seems to die at the end of Phantom Menace. Right. We find out in the Clone Wars, he survived. He regains the use of his lower body. Goes through this whole thing where he meets his long-lost brother. The two of them try to take down the Emperor and Dooku. His brother gets killed. He gets subjugated by Palpatine after a period of time in which he's running Mandalore. And eventually escapes, I guess. I actually don't remember if they described how he gets out of there. He resurfaces during the era of Rebels. But prior to that, we know that in Solo, he's running is it Crimson Dawn or not? No, sorry, Crimson Dawn is was it Crimson Dawn? Crimson something. One of those gangster factions in the Star Wars universe. He's running whatever faction that is, which is the main one in Solo. Mm-hmm. He shows up in Rebels, tries to lure Ezra Bridger away from Kanan Jarrus as he's trying to train him as a Jedi. He tries to flirt with him as being kind of a Sith apprentice, although I guess it wouldn't technically be Sith because he kind of broke with all that when the Palpatine thing ended. They end up involved with holocrons and all that. Vader ends up in that storyline.
Yes.
He separates from that entirely, and we know for a fact Maul finally ends up dying when those plans are foiled, when his plans with Ahsoka are foiled, and his plans with Ezra are foiled. His final thing is and I forget exactly how he discovers this now. He discovers Luke Skywalker. Luke would be a young teen at this point. He goes to track him down on Tatooine, and he meets up with Obi-Wan again. Mm-hmm. And the two of them have a final duel.
Yes. And
Obi-Wan kills him, and he holds him in his arms basically as he's dying, and Maul says he's the chosen one. And he says, I know. And he says, I'm paraphrasing, but he basically says, well, I'm going to die without ever getting my revenge on Palpatine that I want, but you taking care, even though you've killed me, you taking care of Luke is the only way I will even get the slightest bit of revenge in this life, because he's going to be the one to overthrow Palpatine. And that's how he dies, is basically telling Obi-Wan, well, if I can't do it, you better make sure it gets done.
Right. I can see the scene now.
Yeah. The two of them are
that was great. I remember, I do remember now that like you have it like coming back to me. I do remember sitting watching that because I was like watching it like I was taking lunch breaks at work, and then like I would have my lunch and watch an episode of Rebels. And I remember watching that one, and then like I have to go back to work after this. I was like, this is intense.
No, it was very cool. It was very, duel on the edge of town. The two of them around the campfire and all that.
Totally.
So.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So that looks great. And that's April 6th?
Something like that. Yeah. It's definitely coming out in the next couple of months. So I'm pretty excited for that. Sam Witwer is back as Maul. He's done a great job within the Star Wars universe. He was the voice of Starkiller in the Force Unleashed games. Also the model for the face as well. For a time, he was also the voice of Palpatine. I think 3 separate people voiced Palpatine during the run of the Clone Wars. That was a weird show with when they made certain parts of it and when they aired some of it, because if you notice chronologically through the run of the show, the voice changes from one to the other to back to the other, and at different points, Tim Curry, Sam Witwer, and Ian McDiarmid all voiced Palpatine on the Clone Wars show, because I believe Tim Curry was the main voice actor for the show, but he got really badly ill, and he was actually on the brink of death for a while, and I think he's relatively stable, although it's still in poor health now. But I think Ian McDiarmid stepped in briefly, and then Witwer, I think, finished off the show doing it, but he's done all of the animated Maul voice, and technically, even though Solo was live action, he was actually the voice of Maul at the end of that, because that's you just see the hologram of him animated. And Ray Park never even actually did the voice in the movie. I mean, I think he initially recorded whatever lines, but they actually dubbed him over with Peter Serafinowicz for the audio. So Witwer is the definitive voice of Maul.
Cool. That's awesome.
He's also a giant Star Wars nerd, and he's done other
I love that.
He's done other additional voices, like backing voices and secondary and tertiary characters along the way as well. But his big ones are Starkiller, a brief run of Palpatine, and Maul.
Nice, awesome. Yeah, looking forward to that. Down for a new Star Wars show. The next up on this trailers, I'm not sure what your mileage is with this property, but the Masters of the Universe trailer.
I saw part of the trailer. I did not watch the whole thing. I was not a He-Man guy. It just wasn't for it's not that it wasn't for me. It wasn't really in front of me.
Yeah.
That show, I mean, even you are kind of young for when that show actually.
Absolutely. Yeah,
well, not kind of. It aired before either of us have been watching.
Before me.
But yeah, I mean, I know I saw a couple of reruns of it as a kid, but it just was not something that I was like super familiar with, so I don't have a connection to that.
So that's actually exactly where I was with like maybe a little bit closer than you, like where like I've definitely like seen a couple of cartoons and I had some toys that were hand-me-down toys, but it's the symbols and the icons of that show that like I had nostalgia for that. So like watching the trailer, I was like, oh, like this is cool. Like I can see the animated version of this in my mind, and seeing this live action version of it was like was fun. And it doesn't look like it's taking itself too seriously. It's like a silly, like fun sci-fi romp, and I'm all for that. Yeah. And the trailer looks like it has the entertainment vibe that I got out of that Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Okay.
Like it looks like it's just going to be a fun little adventure. That like
the 2 seconds of the trailer that I saw, my immediate impression was Ragnarok. Mm-hmm. The Waititi Thor, that aesthetic a little bit. That.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch it long enough to see if that like held true to that or not.
I think that holds for the rest of the trailer. But it's just I mean more like the level of writing and ensemble that we're getting seems like it'll be similar in style to that Dungeons and Dragons movies, where it's like this will probably be silly, and then I'm hoping that like I go in and watch it and I'm like, this is better than I expected. That's where I hope it lands.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be wholly uninterested in seeing it, but it's not something that I'm like marking my calendar for.
Sure. I hear that.
I never saw the live action movie with actually, who plays? That's not Dolph Lundgren who plays He-Man, is it?
I don't know.
I know Frank Langella plays Skeletor. And I never saw it. They did it on Cinephobe like a year or so ago, but again, I just didn't have any mileage with this. I mean, I listened to that episode. It was an entertaining episode, but I don't like make an appointment of watching the movies for those. Sometimes I will hold off if it's a movie I liked, and I'll rewatch it. But
this was a live action.
It was a live action movie that would have been like I want to say late 80s or early 90s or something like that.
Huh.
I think there's been a couple animated. There's been a couple animated movies, I think. But
was it also called Masters of the Universe, or was it called He-Man?
Oh, I don't know. It might have just been called Masters of the Universe, actually.
Yeah, 1987, Dolph Lundgren. Wow.
Okay.
Whoa. Sorry, the trailer started playing. Whoa.
Yeah, it looks like 1987.
Did you ever see the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie?
No. What was that? Like Retribution or something like that? Or
no, it was just called The Punisher. It was released in like.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. That's right. That was a mid 90s movie or something like that.
Late 80s, I think. 89.
Okay. Oh, so right around the same time as this. Okay.
Yeah, it was something. It was
I never
had a VHS. I don't know. I had a recording of it that I must have. I don't know like at what point it aired on what channel that I was able to tape it, but I did. I decorated the box, drew the logo on it.
I did know he was in one. I forgot when it took place or when it happened. I know. Sorry, it wasn't Retribution. Was it Warzone? That was the second one or whatever? With both of those were Tom Jane, I want to say, right? That was
Warzone was the guy that passed away recently. That was in was it Acolyte or not Acolyte? The Ahsoka show. What's his name?
Oh, Ray Stevenson. That's right.
Yeah, Ray Stevenson.
They recast him and made a sequel, which is super weird.
But no, it wasn't. I don't think it was a sequel though.
No.
I think it was just another standalone Punisher movie.
Which is weird because it was only a couple years later.
I know.
Because the Tom Jane one was like 2005, and then that one was like 2008 or something.
The Tom Jane one is a lot of fun. And
I've literally
has John Panette.
Really?
Yeah, he lives in the apartment.
I've seen like 3 minutes of that movie. At one point, I want to say Tom Jane does the thing where he like stabs someone under the roof of the mouth, and you see the knife through the mouth.
Sure, that tracks.
I don't remember who he was killing. Was it John Travolta the villain in that or something like that?
Yes. Yes.
I never saw the whole movie, but I remember when it came out.
John Travolta was the villain in that, and basically the whole like killing the kid of another man getting murdered. It was this face off again. You get to pick the face off, you get the Punisher logo.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that He-Man trailer, it worked for me.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I'm trying to look to make sure that I'm not crazy, but Thomas Jane John Travolta, yes. Anyway, that was fun. Did you have another trailer? You did. Well, Odyssey,
which is a trailer that I saw that Anthony was not able to see because copyright laws.
Yeah.
There was
I'm sorry. Hang on. I'm going to go on a little tangent here. Get over yourself.
So, and I don't know what the origin of this specific trailer was.
It said this property belongs to NBC when I clicked the link.
Sure. No, but the thing is, because we were talking about this in the last episode, or at least talking around it anyway. Those initial Doomsday trailers were all supposed to be released as part of like pre-screening for specific movies. So there's an exclusivity thing there where they will release it eventually, but in that window, they want to drive people to go see that movie. I think that's a little bit putting the cart before the horse, but that's fine. Maybe someone would be like, oh, I was thinking about going to see that movie. Oh, I get to see that trailer. Okay, I'll just go. Maybe.
I will say it was the thing I was most excited about going to see Avatar,
which we talked about last episode, and you were adamant about, and that's fine. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with feeling that way. But the thing is, you were going to see that movie regardless.
Oh no, I'm saying, but like to your point, like as far as driving someone to go to the, I could be like, if I was on the fence about getting to the movies, it was a nice little,
which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's the thing is, you're only getting the scale tipping. You're not getting someone who's like, I have no interest in seeing that movie,
right? Yeah,
to go see it. But they're still protecting that partnership, right? There is an exchange of money that goes on in all of that. There's a business transaction. There's nothing wrong with that. We all know that's what business they're doing. Lord business, exactly right. So when these sorts of things leak, they do tend to get struck down pretty quickly because of those exclusivity deals.
That's fair. However, this trailer aired during a football game?
It did. Which is why I'm a little more confused about it.
And the football game happens live once?
It happened live once, correct? And so to be fair, they only ran the trailer once, I think, during the game.
Exactly. So the minute that trailer plays, put it out there. There's no you're not getting anything out of that exclusivity at that point.
Sure, although I will say, I think the one I sent you was a reposting of that, and they do tend to be precious about that sort of thing, because they want to drive you to the main account, which I get, but still it's weird that, because you went on the main account and you couldn't find it, right?
Yeah. All of these media companies, it's like you are holding a death grip onto the wrong things, and you need to just change your ways.
The tighter you close your grip, the more star systems slip through your fingers.
But anyway, can you tell me anything new about that trailer?
Yeah, so a lot of it was new, and the way it's framed is different because it starts with the Bernthal and Holland characters in a big hall at a big meal arguing about Odysseus, and then it goes back to, I think it's him narrating some bit of the journey or something like that, and it shows snippets from what would be the very beginning of the movie, because it's stuff about them in the Trojan War, which is how the events of the Odyssey start, which is the conclusion of the Trojan War, and then them trying to get home from it. And I'll tip this off, not much of a spoiler, because again, I'm pretty sure this will be in the first 10 minutes of the movie, I would suppose. It shows them wheeling the Trojan horse, and the Trojans actually evaluating it, and all of them inside of the horse, and them stabbing swords into it, and a guy getting stabbed, and his compatriots grabbing his face so he can't scream.
Oh my God.
And pulling him down into the group of them so they don't betray what they're doing and all that. And It's just a bunch of snippets. It's them on the boat rowing and this and that, and it's very much like a tone piece of some shit is going on,
Yeah, it's just a loud ass horn. In the background.
So the first actual trailer probably gave quote unquote more than this, but that was also, I would say, more story and character, and this was more action.
Right. Cool.
They work well, like as companions to each other.
Sure. And this is July?
I believe it's July.
I'm very, very, very excited.
Oh, me too. Very much so.
This. Yeah. I cannot wait. Awesome. We'll make that an IMAX trip for sure.
I'll be down for that.
And I will be forced to see it in 3D.
We got to
still bitter about this. I would have really enjoyed seeing Avatar on an IMAX screen, not in 3D, but it was not an option.
Is this one a 3D one or?
No, probably not.
Because I don't think Nolan's really.
No, and it'll be. That's why I'm not worried about that at all. That'll be fine. I'm just mad. I'm still.
No, I know
about Avatar.
But that one is. That's
I know that one was meant to be seen 3D. Yeah. Like, I get it. It's the director's vision, whatever. It's fine.
But yeah, we should try and get back. We'll never get back to the way it was at the first. It's called season of the show, but we should try and pick 3 or 4 movies quarterly. Yeah, the quarterly collaboration.
Yeah, so we have for this year we have Odyssey. Is there an Avengers movie at the end of this year?
Doomsday.
That's this year, though, right?
It's in December.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was 27.
I'm sure
it's this year because
because they released the trailers with Avatar, which was in December, and the whole thing was the clock started for a year.
Right, and it is brand new. Is Brand New Day this year also?
Brand New Day is this year.
Okay.
Mandalorian and Grogu is this year.
Which we will see that. We have to see that together.
That's May.
Like
so
Star Wars events need to happen.
That'll be Q2.
Q2. All right. So we got May, we've got July, we've got December. All right. We got some stuff.
Yeah.
We can make it happen. Awesome. There is a request from Michael Warren to see the Odyssey with us.
Okay.
Is it Odyssey or The Odyssey, the title of the movie?
I want to say but don't quote me on that.
Yeah. For some reason, I feel like I remember seeing the card and not clocking the word the.
It's just a hanging the.
Just a hanging the. Anyway, he wants to be in on that, so we could have a guest for that show. But
confirmed the Odyssey.
The Odyssey. Okay. This came up while Michael and I were at the movies, which is why we didn't get an episode out last week. Last Wednesday, Michael and I went to the Alamo Drafthouse on Staten Island for a very special event. Gremlins 2.
Oh.
Couple of notes.
Was that special of an event?
Was that special of an event? Couple of notes. 1, I've never been to an Alamo Drafthouse before. It was awesome.
I have not had the privilege. That's one of the ones where you get dinner with the movie and all that.
Yeah,
right?
Good. Just like good beer, decent food.
I think Mike likes to go to those. Hey, Mike.
And they will. And you can eject people that are on their phones.
Oh,
so that's nice.
Like they via a warning. James Bond style ejector seat button.
Yes, exactly. No, you just push a button. You just push a button. You be like, this bitch in this seat, right? And they give them one warning.
It's got to be. It's got to be what's it called? Like voter choice, where like if more than 51% of the audience in the theater all clicks the button, then because otherwise, it could just be the Wild Wild West, and everyone's just I'm shooting you out of there.
They'll observe after you.
No, let's democratize the process. If more than 50%, if more than 50% of the theater wants to eject that one person, then we hit them at all. And once we've crossed that threshold.
The person in B3 doesn't seem to be enjoying this, and I'm not happy about that. I would like them ejected from the theater. All those in favor say aye. Press your little light switch. Or
do one of those things. They do like the intermission thing, or like those quiz show things where everyone downloads the app and then just like the movie pausing, and it's like just comes up on the screen, like scan the QR code. All in favor, aye or nay.
So a couple of other cool things about this place. So one, obviously, like decent drinks, decent food. very comfortable arrangements and the ejection piece. But the cool thing, they let you in 30 minutes early, and they played in this particular scenario. They had all of these other 80s goofy horror movie trailers playing
schlock
for that 30 minutes, which was it was fun. Like Ghoulies 2, they'll get you in the end, like stuff like that, right? It was awesome. So that was a lot of fun to watch that. And then like when the time came, the exact showtime of the movie, it was like boom, it's like 8:00. They played a little Bugs Bunny Daffy Duck cartoon, which led into the movie starting.
That was an old thing they used to do.
That was really cool. And then third, I've never seen Gremlins 2.
I've seen 5 minutes of it. I don't know. I've seen the first one, although I don't know if I've ever watched it start to finish, but I've seen the whole movie.
Yeah.
The across first one? Different viewings. Yeah. I've never seen more than a couple minutes of the second one.
So this night started off with me.
That's another one of those ones that's like considered like one of the truly awful sequels, right?
It probably, and yes, that would make sense. However, I watched a recap of Gremlins 1 because it's been so long since I've seen it.
I actually saw part of it because technically Gremlins 1 is a Christmas movie. Yeah. I saw a little bit of it around Christmas this year, and I hadn't seen any of it in quite a long time. I've basically saw like the last half hour-ish of it. Gremlins 2.
Did you see the scene of the girlfriend explaining how her father died?
This is Gremlins 2?
No, the Gremlins 1.
I'm sure I must have, but that doesn't sound familiar.
That he broke his... why she doesn't believe in Santa Claus / doesn't like Christmas, whatever. That her father broke his neck trying, like, pretending to be Santa coming down the chimney one Christmas.
I don't remember that.
It's a very ridiculous scene. But
also, less interrupted for now, but Gremlins 2, the new batch, right? Or isn't that the subtitle?
I want to say that
it's the new batch or something like that.
That sounds right.
Okay, continue.
They even, as ridiculous as Gremlins 2 is, they even go out of their way to poke fun at that scene, which is really great. She goes on this other rant, and she's like halfway, she's like getting going, and it's taking forever, and he's like, there's a lot going on right now. We need to just keep going. But anyway, Gremlins 2 it's so outrageous to the point where, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had an absolute blast. I knew going in that this is like, that it's going to be silly and ridiculous, and like, but who cares?
Yeah.
It was so fun. It was such a fun experience. Such a ridiculous movie. I mean, I know this isn't news to a lot of people. This is just the first time that I've seen it. It was I just kept turning to Michael being like, "Oh my God, like this is happening."
That's funny.
It was an absolute treat. And then last note on the Alamo Draft House, we got the spicy ranch popcorn.
Oh.
So it's tossed with clarified butter and then sprinkled with a spicy ranch seasoning, which almost killed both of us.
Why?
Because it was a decent level of spicy, and it's a loose seasoning. And when you go to bring popcorn to your mouth, you inhale. And you get dusted with poison gas.
So my thing is, which I don't remember if I've said on the show before, I'm sure I must have talked about it with you before, but my secret hack to, if you're doing a long drive and or you're too tired and you need to make sure you're safe, sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds is how you safely drive. You won't get fat from it, because if you eat anything, you're fine. But if you're in a long drive and you're just eating the whole drive, you're going to be eating way too much. Sunflower seeds, the amount that you're actually consuming, fairly low. Caloric intake, but the dusting of whatever's on your thing, especially if you get any sort of flavored one, if you just get the generic salt or low sodium one, pretty safe.
Yeah,
but I like some of the ones that have a little bit of flavor. I actually don't love
pizzazz.
I don't love the ranch one, but the cracked pepper one, very good. There's like a spicy sweet one that I found a couple months ago that I actually really like.
Okay,
and the problem is, so the way I do it is to just keep the whole assembly pretty clean. Grab the bag, kind of tilt it up and dump a few into my mouth.
Sure.
Kind of put it in the side the way you would like a chewing tobacco chaw and crack one at a time, spit out the shells as I go, rather than.
I like this. I like the idea of you spit out the seeds and you just crunch them. Al, you're doing it wrong.
No, the only wrong way to do it is the way that Ace Ventura does in the first one when he's sitting in what's her name's office and he's just chomping on it like it's like a mouthful of food, and he's got seeds and shell all intermixed, and he's swallowing some of it, he's spitting some of it out. Awful.
I love it.
Just awful.
I love it.
But yeah, no, I consume the seeds and I spit the shells out. But when you do that, it's fine for the first half of the bag, but as whatever didn't stick to the shells continues to pool at the bottom, and the ratio of shells to unincorporated dust changes as it gets lower in the package. Sometimes you do get a big inhale of just loose whatever flavoring dust, which is usually some combination of salt, pepper, and or sugar. Occasionally I end up with one of those my throat's closing. My throat's closing because I dehydrated the entire inner part of my mouth and throat with whatever I just inhaled.
What are you using, a cup as a spittoon? Like, what do you got going on?
So on most days, what happens is I make myself a delightful 24 ounces of black coffee. I drink that in the morning. And then when I finish that, if I need sunflower seeds later in the day, got a nice empty cup.
You got a little system.
Do.
I appreciate a system.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyway, Gremlins 2 was a treat. Alamo Drafthouse, also a treat. Oh, last note on the Alamo Drafthouse. It was at the location on Staten Island where it was. Used to be called Highland Plaza. And it was this little rinky-dink shopping center that had a 5-theater movie theater.
Okay.
A Toys R Us.
Okay.
Kmart and a bunch of other odds and ends stores, like a tuxedo place and
classic plaza.
It was growing up, we were there all the time for the movies. It was great. Like, we used to go to that theater all the time. I have so many fond memories of that area. Towards my latter years in Staten Island, it was a shell of its former self. Toys R Us had gone out of business. Kmart was also gone, things like that. But the shopping center was still there. The movie theater eventually closed down. I have not been there since. It's been roughly
10 years,
yeah. Something like that. What they've done with that area is like, it does not belong on Staten Island. It's gorgeous. Like the whole, it's like this it's this 2-level shopping center with like some really nice stuff going on, and everything is like new, clean, and not run down. And I was blown away. I was like, this doesn't belong here. But
that's nice. It's nice that there are still places, even if they have to be higher end places, that there's still places you can go.
Totally. So we can venture to the Alamo Drafthouse if you'd like to check it out.
I would. Thankfully, I think there's more than one location because getting on to Staten Island is a problem.
No, but if you were to come here, if you wanted to go together from here, it's probably the closest one for us to get to from where I am.
Because I'm pretty sure there's one somewhere in Westchester, which is the one Mike goes to, which is not like a great ride for you. It's not really a great ride for me, but it's about an hour. It's probably hour 15 for you.
Yeah.
Oh. But I would actually like to go to that. I mean, that sounds like a great experience. It's not proximal.
The minute you take your phone out, I am writing your name down and your seat number, and I'm pushing the button.
And I'm getting launched through the hole that is opening in the ceiling.
And I'll be like, oh my God, it works. Amazing. And the other news is not good.
Is there any other trailers? Because I didn't have any other trailers.
Masters, Odyssey, Daredevil, Star Wars. No.
Well, quick new. Considering neither of us watched it yet. New season of Shrinking debuted today.
Excellent.
Neither of us got to see it. I am waiting to read the recap from my close personal friend Alan Sepinwall. I know he's excited for it. He said he's so excited for it that he's not watching the whole season before. He's doing it episodically.
Nice.
And ahead of today's premiere, yesterday they announced that they have already greenlit season 4, which is awesome news for all of us who love this show. super looking forward to it. I suspect the next episode that we record, whether it be next week or later, we will be talking about 1 to 3 episodes that have been released at that period of time, and I'm super excited for that.
Me too.
We got some two. I know we talked about it a way back, but we got some major additions to the cast. We got Jeff Daniels, I believe, coming in as Jason Segel's father in this season. Michael J. Fox, who's coming into play. I don't actually remember if he's playing himself or just a character, but for obvious reasons, with Harrison Ford's character having Parkinson's, the two of them are going to interact in that fashion. So capacity is a good word for it as well. It's funny we bring him up, and I will have a brief aside. We can dip into consumption for a second here, but continuing to watch Scrubs. I'm halfway through the 5th season of Scrubs, my rewatch in preparation of next month's debut of the revival of Scrubs, and the Michael J. Fox 2-episode run, and I want to say season 3 was awesome to relive. There's so many of these major and minor cameos that so many of them I remember, and a couple of them I get surprised by.
Sure.
But and it's funny because in my head there's so many of these beats I remember, but the order has sometimes avoided me until right before it's coming, where I'm like, oh, I forgot that was at this stage of the show. You know, I remember this happening, but I didn't remember it was now. I thought it might have been later, or waiting for something to happen, and it's happening later than I thought it was going to.
Sure.
But it's funny because like every episode, I remember every episode now as I watch it. There's not an episode that I'm like, oh wow, I just don't remember this at all. There's certain beats and there's characters that I forgot aspects of, but it's funny how many of these things where I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, this is the episode where this happens, but it's only once I got into it for like 3 or 4 minutes, or about a minute or two before a big thing happens. I'm like, oh, I think this is when this is going to happen. And then being right about that more often than not has been a fun experience for me to just have it all freshly. And I'm sure it's not all going to apply to the new show.
I had that experience rewatching How I Met Your Mother and New Girl. But Friends, I feel like I could, like, if I was put to the task, I could probably sit down and write out everything that happens in order.
Yeah. Oh, and this one, like I said, I would get the vast majority of things, but I probably would have gotten some of the order wrong. I mean, a lot of the big beats, of course, I remember, but certain like sequences and runs, I've noticed as it's going on, like, oh, this was a little earlier than I had remembered, or oh, this was a little later.
Yeah.
But even like to the point of like obscure like character names, or because I've been watching, there's been a revolving door of like my whole family being involved with me watching it, where I might be sitting down and watching it, and my brother had walked in and, oh, he'll sit down for an episode or two, or Gianna and Mike are here and they're watching a couple episodes, or we were all here watching the football game and it's like, oh, this game ended and it's half an hour till the next game starts. I'm going to throw on an episode. And so we're all sitting and watching it. Like, they've all been kind of in the orbit of all of it.
Sure.
And
that's fun.
It's funny watching where sometimes they're raptly attentive to what's going on, and other times they're maybe doing their own thing and they hear me laughing, so they kind of are pulled back into watching or whatever. And a handful of times being like, oh guys, hang on a second, you're going to want to see this scene, you know? Because I only remember in the 30 seconds leading up to it, or, oh, hey guys, do you recognize that person? You know, as a big oh wow, I didn't know they were on the show, and seeing, like, watching that on their faces as they experience that, because they've all seen parts of it when I watched it years ago, but
sure,
I've seen the whole show through 2 to 3 times.
Right.
But not in almost 15 years. It's been so long since I saw it. Yeah. It's a true treat to get to truly go back and watch this like this.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, it seems like we've dipped our toe into consumption. Are we done with the news?
The only other new I'm going to have is more this is more like a promise to the future here. They released the Oscars this week. We don't really have to go in, or I guess it was last.
Oh, the nominations.
The nominations. Yeah. We don't really have to go into it too deeply unless there's something that you want to.
Well, no. The only thing
we're going to do Flix in a a whisk
we'll
coming
do
up
Flix into Whisk
in an upcoming episode. But
we will
just to acknowledge that it happened. Sinners was nominated for 16. It set the record for nominations, or tied to the record. I forget, but
So I've started. I'm watching. I'm getting ramped up on the nominees.
I was gonna watch One Battle on Saturday, and I ate dinner way too late. I was like, I can't watch an almost 3-hour movie starting at 9:00. I'm not going to enjoy it.
Let's just cruise right into consumption then.
Yeah, that's
because I watched Sinners last night. I want to say.
You definitely texted me about it.
I
think it was it yesterday or 2 days ago? This is 2 days ago.
I don't know. I can't remember. Very entertaining movie. Very stylistic movie. Great performances. Awesome characters. However, I'm more of like this is a solid movie. This is like a 7 out of 10 movie. I don't get the Best Picture nod for it.
Okay.
But I'm not like mad about it. Like I'm mad about Phantom Thread, right? But I'm not mad about Sinners. I feel like unless I made a point of seeing it, I was ready to see it before it was nominated because a bunch of outlets that I listened to really enjoyed it. I was like, okay, cool, I'll check it out. But I think if I had seen it earlier in the year or something, it wouldn't have been on my radar for Best Picture, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
But not because it's bad.
To be fair, it was released in a window when Oscar bait type of movie doesn't typically get released. It was released last March.
Yeah. So anyway, it is I recommend the watch though. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I need to go and clean and watch it. I saw parts of it as I was talking with you yesterday, I want to say, about it. I saw parts of it a month ago. It was a Saturday around the holidays, and we had been just sat down to, or we were about to sit down to breakfast, all of us, and Dominic put it on, and it was half an hour into the movie. And I was like, oh, don't put that on. He'd already seen it.
Yeah.
And he wanted to just put it on because he liked it. And I was like, don't put that on. I haven't seen the movie. And he's like, oh, no, you didn't miss anything. I was like, it's a half an hour into the movie. I missed something.
Sure.
I don't want to watch it. So I was kind of basically trying to actively avoid watching it.
Yeah. No,
which was weird.
I could see why he would say that, though I would say that you're kind of missing a good chunk of it if you're not seeing it from the beginning, a good of the build up and whatnot. I will say, and after you watch this, we'll discuss it, and maybe eventually we'll do it on the show. The movie made one very critical mistake, in my opinion. I'm not going to spoil anything, but you might already know a little bit about this. There's an interesting plot movement. I'm not going to call it a twist because there's hints about it, but there's a thing that happens.
No, I know what the movie's about. I know what the movie's about.
So that thing, they could have buried the lead and made for a huge impact if they just changed the first scene where they let you know about it. And
so you're saying they started off that storyline too early?
They didn't even start it off. That's the thing, is they do this weird cutaway. They show you this weird thing that's gonna take place, and then they go back, and then they continue down the story, and then they introduce it as it's the shocking thing. I was like, but you just told us, don't tell us, because if you do this scene without telling me, I go, what was that? That's the impact that it has, and okay. I was a little upset about that. But otherwise, like I said, performances were awesome. It was a lot of fun to watch. It was at no point was I, glancing at your phone or anything. You're watching it. It's very entertaining. But I still kind of stand in that zone of I just wouldn't have just been Best Picture. Moving on for a second to One Battle After Another, which is another thing that I consumed. That one, I'm 40 minutes into it, hate watching it. Until it pulls a complete 180 on me.
It's funny because it
does a time jump, and the movie becomes absolutely incredible.
So it's funny. I was just hearing someone or a couple people talking about it on a podcast the other day, and they were talking about, like kind of not like a love-hate, but it's like the fact that it's not necessarily perfect, like start to finish, but like the fact that like the middle hour of the movie being incredible. And it sounds like that's the point you're talking about. Like,
I think I clocked it. I think it was like 40 minutes. I was watching the movie and I was like, what? Like, I was like, why are we doing it? Like, why are we doing this?
And it's a long movie, right? It's like 2:45 or something like that.
Yeah. And like to the point where I'm like, I was turned off by some of the way that it was being approached. And like, I still don't necessarily think that a good chunk of it was really necessarily done the way that it was. And a lot of it comes down to in the execution. All I kept thinking about was like, this like weird ass guy wrote this. And like, why did you write it this way? And like, I know there's something to it, and I can, you could piece it together after you finish the entire thing, and you can kind of place it, but it feels a little. The first 40 minutes, there's like a lot of weird raunchiness to it, which like I feel like I kind of understand like some of what's happening, but it's a little too much to the point where I'm like, it's a little cringy to watch, and it's like it's not in service of the overall plot, in my opinion, because then once we do a time jump and that stuff fades away, and you get locked into this just incredible like execution. I was blown away by the way by how the movie got me back, and with and I say this with full hatred for Phantom Thread in my heart, right? And like going in to his, in their defense, I assumed I wasn't gonna like it.
Yeah.
Right. And it starts off, and we're 5 minutes in, we're 10 minutes in, and I'm like, here we fucking go. And we're 30 minutes in, and we're 40 minutes in, and I'm like, am I gonna should I finish this? And then it was like there was a moment, and it changed. I'm like, what's that now? Oh, okay, all right, I'm on board. And then all of a sudden, the movie was over, because like the rest of the movie went by so fast because I was so engaged with it that I was like, oh, and Sean Penn is terrifying in this movie. He's so weird.
Yeah.
It is unsettling beyond belief. But anyway, I will add that. So that's 2 of my Oscar watches so far.
That one I've definitely been excited to see, and I have not got to it, unfortunately, just yet. But
yeah, well,
I probably will watch it this weekend because there's no football on Sunday. I don't have any plans Saturday. It sounds like we might get another storm this weekend.
You shut your mouth.
Listen, it's not like it's my call. It's not something I'm rooting for. I certainly
say that.
I didn't enjoy shoveling 18 inches of snow this Sunday and Monday. So, but it happened. So
it was not the best. I have this like giant blade on a stick that I was using to break up the snow and ice by the driveway.
Your blade on a stick?
Yeah.
Like
it's like a giant scraper blade.
Okay. So not
on the end of a long pole.
Okay.
A machete would have been better.
Like a push broom, but blade?
Yeah.
Okay. Giant squeegee.
Yeah, kind of, but it was like an actual blade at the end, which I used to chop up because at the driveway it was well above my waist.
Sword rake?
Sure, sword rake. The ever elusive sword rake. And it did a great job because like it's all packed snow and ice from the plows coming up and down the street and locking you in. So I couldn't get the snowblower through it, and my shovel is useless because it snapped on me last storm. So I was using my blade and I was just hacking away at this stuff until it would fall, and then I would use the snowblower and clear it. And it was kind of fun.
Sometimes you gotta chisel it free to then clear it.
Yeah, it felt like grinding in a video game. Like I was just like, I don't know, like I wasn't getting any sort of coins or anything, but it's
so it was me and my dad and my mom this weekend. So Sunday, we went out. For Christmas we got my dad a snowblower. It's the first time we ever had one. Got him an electric one with a big high powered battery. Yeah. It's supposed to last an hour. Doesn't. That's fine. It will give you a heavy duty 30 to 40 minutes, which is it's better than having a shovel at 30 to 40 minutes.
What knockoff electric brand snowblower did you buy?
No, it wasn't a knockoff. It's Ryobi. It's a decent brand.
Ryobi. I've got an Ego and the thing crushes.
So I will say this. The housing for the battery looks like it could accommodate a much bigger battery. This is just the battery that came with it.
Okay.
Regardless, even if it couldn't, we will be investing in at least a second battery so that we can hot swap it and then actually get, which would be fine.
Yeah.
But so what we did was we made sure the battery's charged. Me and my dad went out there. He took the snowblower. I took a shovel. We went out at whatever it was, like 11, 12 o'clock on Saturday, something like that. Let's just get the first 4-ish inches that have fallen. Scraped it right up. We were out there for 40 minutes. It's fine. The thing died 5 or 10 minutes before we were done. Not a big deal. Because I'm shoveling and he's snowblowing, and so we're force multiplier, right?
Sure.
Go out again at so we must have gone out at around 11, because then we went out again around 2, because we wanted to make sure we were fully done before the first football game started.
Mm-hmm.
Same process, because we threw the thing on the charger. It was basically fully charged again by the time we went out. Same process. We were out there for 40 minutes. Did another 4 inches of snow. Whole driveway, whatever. It's great, whatever. But it's like, okay, at this point, the games are starting. He was like, we had initially talked about maybe we'd go out between the first game and the second game.
Yeah.
The problem was he served dinner a little later than expected. So we finished dinner as the first game's ending. And he's like, oh, hey, do you want to go back out again? I was like, no, I don't want to go shovel after eating a whole fucking dinner. I don't want to do that. It's not how the human body is supposed to work. I'm now full of dinner. My body does not want to do shoveling. Like, you want to go with a snowblower? I'm not going to stop you.
My belly on the snow and it will melt.
Yeah, it's just not. It's like it's just not going to work, and like that's fine, whatever. So it did mean that we had to shovel a good 10 inches of snow plus whatever giant wall of snow they put in front of our driveway on Monday morning, because he was working from home. My job was closed for Monday, so I was around. I didn't have anything to do, and I was like, "We can go out, and it'll take as long as it takes." And I don't care. I have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
But the thing barely lasted half an hour that time, because this was a much deeper snow. And so then now I'm literally, he buzzed about half of the driveway itself. I pushed out about another half of the driveway. And now we got to the wall at the end. It's like, that's going to take us as long as this whole driveway just took us. Mm-hmm. And it's just, the same thing. It's we break down a whole section of this fucking wall that's almost chest deep. And I'm not short either. Let me break down a chunk of this wall, scoop it. Okay. No, congratulations. You've moved 1 foot of wall.
Yeah. I remember feeling so accomplished when I broke through like a pathway's length through the wall.
Oh, that's what I do the same thing. I was like, I need to tell myself I've accomplished something. I need to bust through so I can access both sides of this wall.
That's right. And then you can put one half to one side and one half to the other, and you could work both the front and
we
back.
did. And once he finally came down to help me with it, it started finally actually going.
Oh, man. So don't do that again this weekend. Anyway.
Even if it doesn't snow, we're going to have negative degrees. It's going to be negative degrees.
Yeah. I watched I finally caught up on the morning show. I realized that we had trailed off somewhere in the 3rd season.
There was a new season that came out a couple months ago, right?
There was, yeah. So we watched almost the entire 3rd season again, because we put an episode on. We're like, I remember this, and we would skip to the next one. Watch that one. I remember this, and we skipped to the next. And then it was like the last 4 we hadn't seen. So we finished the season, and then we watched all of the 4th, and it was entertaining. It's not like one of those shows where I'm like, oh, you got to watch it. I'm glad we watched it. Yeah, I think the first season was probably the best. But it's got enough interesting things going on that it's kind of fun to watch. The characters all are extremely flawed, which can be good or exhausting sometimes depending on when you're watching it. So there's that. But I'm glad we watched it. When it ended, I thought that it was the final season. I was wrong. There's going to be another one at least.
Oh, actually, I had no idea. I was a little surprised when it came back. I feel like it's been forever since I heard anything of it. I didn't know if it was over, because I've never watched it. So,
but then I watched The Pit.
Oh, okay. Because the second season just came out, right?
Yeah. It's weekly, but that, my friend, is a good fucking show. like
everyone seems to be raving about it.
How you have nailed the hospital drama. Like,
so it's basically ER meets 24, right?
Yes. And it's excellent. Like, tremendous. Like, between the hour by hour execution of the season to from the first episode, within like 10 minutes, you can feel the chemistry between the characters. Like, they all work together, and they've been working together for years, and you're the new guy, and they don't care. Like, but in a good way, in that, like, you get to just like come up to speed with like who they are and how they are, and like it's just, I was blown away. Every episode would end, and I was like, damn, that's a good show. So I was really happy with it. And then we started watching the second season, and I'm hesitant because I don't want to catch up and then be out of episodes, but it'll happen. It'll happen soon.
Yeah, I
enjoyed.
I thought it was just going to be like a generic hospital show. Once I found out that it had this like 24-esque gimmick, it actually interested me a little bit more. I'm still so far behind on so many shows, but if I wasn't, I might be interested in giving that a shot.
I would say its only flaw, which is not really, it's a fake flaw. It's they make parts of it feel so realistic, and they do such a great execution of it. But the most unrealistic thing is that all of this stuff could be happening to these people in one day. Type of it's almost too much. It's like, really, like all of the things, like you could have like this type of patient and this type of patient and this type of patient and this like, global event, and this, like, all of this is happening in one day. Like, really, like, that's what makes the one day feel a little bit like uncanny.
Yeah,
but it doesn't really matter because the execution is so good.
It's the type of thing where it's like, awesome. Man, if this didn't happen in a week, it's like, that's a fucking hell of a week. But it happened in a day. How?
Yeah, exactly. And like you're watching it, you're like, this isn't a day. Like, you guys have, I mean, this all happened in one shot, but you guys have been, you're on like a triple or quadruple shift at this point because it's out of control. But they go pretty hard. I was impressed, very impressed, and very excited to continue watching.
All right.
That's it for my consumption for now.
I have, so I've seen the first two episodes, which of two total episodes of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. This was a show I was super excited for. I loved the novellas that George R. R. Martin wrote within the Thrones universe. This takes place roughly 100 years before the Game of Thrones show. It basically takes place almost equidistant between when House of Dragon took place and when Game of Thrones takes place. Because this is something that they very much reference in some oblique ways in the run of Game of Thrones. More so in the books than in the shows, but still they do reference it in both. This is a really cool story. If people are not as familiar with this storyline, I know he wants to write a bunch more of these novellas, but he's published 3 of them. So each season will be one of them because they're short. The first one's like 100 pages long. The second one's like 65 pages long, and the third one's like 80 pages long or something like that. So each season will be a story, and they're doing short seasons. They're doing it to fit the subject matter. The first season is 6 episodes. Cool. They're all between 30 and 45 minutes long. So it very much accommodates that story. And I would say that Game of Thrones is very much about the cynicism of power and everyone grabbing hold on it, right?
Sure.
House of Dragon is like a classic tragedy, right? Like a Shakespearean or like one of those ancient Greek tragedies, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's about these very tight group of people and all of the foibles of everything going on. Insofar as it's possible for anything within Martin's world to exist in this way, this is a more hopeful story. We have good guys and bad guys in both the other shows, right?
Yeah.
Many, many other people who are shades of gray, and it's the bad guys who do a good thing, and there's the good guys who do a bad thing, and where all that is.
Yeah.
I'll say this right here. This is not a spoiler. At least it shouldn't be a spoiler. So this story set is called The Tales of Dunk and Egg. Sir Duncan the Tall, is a good person. That's not a spoiler. He is a good guy trying to make his way. You don't know anything about this story too much, right? So for anyone who's not familiar or hasn't started watching this one yet, he is a hedge knight. It starts with he's just barely been a knight. And the guy who knighted him, who he squired for, dies at the very beginning of the show. Very similar to the way that A Knight's Tale starts, where this guy dies, his squire buries him. The difference is he actually has been knighted by him, unlike in A Knight's Tale where he hadn't been, and he assumes his identity. This guy shows up down the line and says, "Hey, listen, I'm a knight. The knight I squired for knighted me." Now, some people question whether that happened or not, but
sure.
The point is he's not pretending to be someone. He's like, I am who I am. This is the guy I worked for. You guys should know him.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't really know him. And that's the point of what a hedge knight is, right? If you remember from the Game of Thrones things, right, there was the king, and there's the major lords, and there's the minor lords, and then there's the high-end knights, and below them are the hedge knights. They are a knight. They have the same standing as any other knight, but they have no lands. They have no titles. There's nothing to them. They have just their vocation and their sword and their horse. And if someone's going to pay them to do some work for them, that's great, because otherwise they may blur the lines of legal and not legal in the service of getting a little bit more standing in this world.
Right.
And the whole first season's about, my master died. I'm a knight. All I have is our 3 horses, his sword and his shield, and nothing else. And he shows up to a tournament and is like, well, I'm just going to go to a tournament, see if I can win some money, and then maybe I'll have a leg to stand on, Mm-hmm. And he gets swept up in all of the bullshit that that all of the lords and knights of the Game of Thrones realm get up to, what Westeros is all about. And shouldn't be too much of a spoiler. He does not get corrupted by those things. That's why I say this is a more hopeful show. That's not to say that there aren't going to be people that you like that end up getting killed, or that there will be terrible things that are going to happen or whatever. But this show is about him and the squire he takes on at the outset of the story.
Okay.
Both of them are coming from nothing, and they're going to make something. And there's going to be terrible things that happen in the show, but this is about good people who are not going to be corrupted by all of that. That's why I said it's the most hopeful of all of these shows.
That's cool.
It's a very cool story. I've really enjoyed reading them, and I think of the 3 novellas, this was the best one. The one that will be the first season. Gotcha. The first 2 episodes, I don't want to say they're slow, but it's the nature of this story that it's a little bit more backloaded of the 6-episode run. But 2 episodes
is it fully out?
No, the first 2 have been out. It's a weekly on HBO.
Oh, okay.
So a third of the season is out currently.
Gotcha. Cool.
But I've liked it so far. But I know I will love the second half of this season, because that's where the story really takes off.
I had no interest, but I think you sold me on at least giving it a shot, because like I enjoyed Game of Thrones for most of the run, and then it's no surprise that I've not been like super into House of the Dragon, but this sounds like it could be a little bit more, I don't know, something worth watching. Maybe I'll give it a go if I find myself in need of a show.
Yeah, like I said, I've been super excited, and I mean, to be fair, it's been over 10 years since I read these novellas, so I remember most of the big beats, but some of the little details I've certainly lost.
Sure.
And so I was a little bit surprised by how quote unquote little has happened in the first 2 episodes. Mm-hmm. I haven't been disappointed. I've still enjoyed them, but they've been pretty light until late in the second episode, where the first round of the jousts start, and it's like, okay, now like the stuff is going on.
Yeah.
But we're going to get some of the politicking, but it's unlike Game of Thrones and House of Dragon, which take place across like the continent, this whole season did take place in and around this town.
Cool.
It's a small story it's a piece of the much larger stuff that's all going on.
Nice. You brought up a Night's Tale, which I mean we've talked about on the show before as one of my. I absolutely adore that movie.
Yeah, I had never actually watched it until we did it a couple of years ago on the show, and I really loved it. So
yeah, but on that topic of Heath Ledger movies, I got sick like 2 weeks before Christmas this year. Thank God, not on Christmas. And I was just like completely out for one day, like couldn't move, and I was in bed, and I was like, I slept. I want to say 20 out of 24 hours straight.
Oh wow!
And I was like pretty much dead to the world. But when I woke, I was still out of it, and I couldn't go. But I was like, I guess I'll just put something on, and I put on 10 Things I Hate About You.
I never saw that one.
What? I mean, when this Oscar season dies down a bit, and we're looking for something little light, little fun, classic, we'll do that. It's an all timer, Al. Like that movie is tremendous.
It is
in the best way.
It is on my mythical list of the many movies I need to get to.
Yeah,
it's pretty deep on that list, but it's on there.
Maybe we could somehow figure out a way. Maybe we could plan accordingly for Oscars party weekend, and we could sit down as a group and watch that one, because I do know that other attenders of the Oscars party would be absolutely into watching that movie.
We got to start planning that, because I got to put that day in for that Monday.
Just find out what day the Oscars are and take that Monday off. That's what.
Well, no, I always do. It's just like my way my company works. It's your personal year end is when like your vacation resets. Gotcha. It's not like January 1. It's your start date. Gotcha. And for me, it's about a month from now. So I still have like 2 or 3 days left. I used one for this day we closed for the snow, because why shouldn't I get paid when I'm not doing anything? I always carry a couple days into the winter, knowing my start date is when it is, that if we get hit with a couple snowstorms, there's going to be people who don't get paid for the day that we close, and sure. I will be. So, but I almost always have one or 2 days at this point now. For the last several years, I always take off the day after the Super Bowl too, because I usually host a party. So it's nice to have that day in my back pocket. That one's already accounted for. I think I still have 2 or 3 days, and they're usually pretty good with me if I want to roll one of the 2 of them forward. So some of the years we've done the Oscar party, I've rolled like a day, because they won't let you, like, you can't really carry it forward. But if you tell them, hey, listen, my year ends next week, can I just use one of these days 2 weeks after that? Like, they're like, yeah, sure, that's fine, whatever. They just don't want you bringing in fucking 2 weeks into your next year or whatever. So, I will definitely be off that day. Hopefully, your entire house won't get the flu. I mean, the strep.
Oh my God. That was horrible.
The strep was so bad. Now that we can talk about it on the show, the strep was so bad, we blew up an entire recording of Flix and a Whisk and our whole Oscar party because everyone had strep.
Yeah, because we got knocked down like dominoes every other day. It was like Ian, then Elio, then Kim, then me. It was brutal
stuff.
Don't want to think about that ever again. Awesome. Anything else for consumption?
Oh, sorry. I had 2 other movies I watched in the past couple weeks. We can do them pretty quick if you want. I watched F1.
Nice.
Which was a lot of fun.
Good.
Actually, both these movies were fun in their own ways. F1 was good. It was one I had actually wanted to see. It was one I had considered seeing in the theater, and it just didn't work out.
I wish I did see it in theaters, because I do think it would have been a fun
absolutely
experience. Part
of what was really cool about this was they pioneered some specific types of cameras with the gyroscopes that they can shoot on the car itself.
Yeah. And flip them, right?
Flip them, yeah, so that you were getting in cockpit view and like into the cockpit view, pretty quick cuts of that, because they were using that, and they could use it around turns and all of that. Kind of in a similar way to some of the shots from Top Gun Maverick, where they were showing them the way they were ripping these turns and stuff like that in the planes. It was some similar types of shots to that with the cars in this. But it ended up being I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a good, solid, entertaining movie.
Yeah. Cockpits feels like a word that like Laszlo would immediately have a story about.
It's like the origins of the word cockpit.
The cockpit.
I like the movie a lot though. I thought it was awesome. Really solid, worthwhile watch. It's an entertaining.
Yeah,
Anthony.
Yeah.
Think back to the origins of our show. It's a popcorn flick.
Yes, you know that's what I'm here for.
Perfect popcorn flick.
I love it.
Another popcorn
spicy
flick.
ranch.
As long as you don't inhale.
Breathing fire.
I can confirm I was eating popcorn while watching this movie. Not spicy ranch, just regular popcorn.
Yeah.
Other, I would say, fun, entertaining movie I watched this past weekend was The Rip. This is the new Netflix movie with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Oh, right. Of course. How was that?
That was solid. It was a little bit more than I expected it to be.
Okay.
It's about this group of cops in Miami area. Yeah, surprisingly, not a ton of Bostonian accent. I mean, it was Affleck and Damon, so it leaks through occasionally, but it was a fun cast. Even beyond the two of them, there's some names and faces that you'll recognize. Actually, one of the group of their like strike team or whatever is, I believe, the daughter from One Battle After the Other. And then the headliners, like I said, is Damon and Affleck. Steven Yeun was in it. Kyle Chandler's in it. Both have pretty major roles. Tiana Taylor, I want to say, was the name, and she was, I think, like I said, the one from One Battle.
Yeah, she's not the daughter.
I thought she was the daughter. I just knew she was in it. For whatever reason, I thought I'd heard. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I had heard she was in it, and I guess I misheard. I thought for some reason I had heard she was the daughter, which was confusing to me because I was like, she doesn't seem like she would be young enough. But regardless,
this guy's in this movie, Nestor Carbonell.
Yeah, not for very long, but yeah.
He has this guy. So I usually call him eyeliner, but he does, and he like doesn't have eyelash. I think he has like permanent eyeliner.
Oh,
like there's a thing. Something like I don't don't quote me on that. There's something there, but he does have eyeliner that is notable always. But he was in The Dark Knight. I feel like that was like one of the earlier times that I recognized him, and then like we've seen him in like a million things since then. But then we went through that whole like Lost extravaganza, and he is featured heavily in Lost, and he was in the morning show. I was like, would you get out of my face? Why am I being Krugered by you and your eyeliner right now? Like, what? Anyway.
But this is a fun movie. It's
the Rip.
It's an action movie, but it's also a bit of a whodunit, and
I'm down for a whodunit.
Yeah. And there's some levity in it, but it's definitely a little on the darker side, but
is it Netflix joint?
Yeah, it was a Netflix movie.
Isn't Matt Damon pretty outspoken about like bad Netflix?
Well, if he is, he stifled his vomit for this movie. So
okay.
I don't know. It was a solid movie. We've done a couple of Netflix movies on this, and there's been other ones we've just seen and not done. And overall,
we're about to do one.
They tend to be bad overall. Sure, that's fine.
It's a different level.
It is. This one is closer to that level. It's an actual movie.
Yeah.
Not to say it's perfect. Not to say it's the best thing ever, but
yeah,
it's a solid movie. I enjoyed it. It ended up being a little bit more than I expected it to be. It was not.
They didn't put that. It wasn't a generator movie.
Early on, I was a little concerned that it was going to be one of those ones where they're just screaming at you exactly what's going to happen in the movie. And it wasn't that. They did a decent job of navigating a couple twists and turns. It's worth the watch.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
I
not
like them both. So
it's not an Oscar movie, but it's worth the watch. It's fun. Yeah. It's fun.
Baby teeth and Damon all day. Right?
I mean, listen, they do bring out the best in each other, right? Like
they are a lot of fun to watch together.
I like Damon. I loathe Affleck. Affleck's actually fine in this. He's fine.
Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, though. I like Affleck and I like Damon, so this will be great for me. I love the two of them together. And when I saw the trailer for this, and then I saw an interview for them, and I was like, I should watch this. But what I really want to watch is Dogma.
It's fair. And I like Stephen Yeun and I like Kyle Chandler, so sure. A solid guess.
Nice. Any more consumption?
No, that's right. One brief note. Brief note.
A brief note. This just in?
Well, knowing that I had a long weekend ahead of me with the snow and all that.
Yeah.
I needed to get up to some shenanigans. Shenanigans. So I made myself another delightful batch of beef jerky.
Oh, nice.
Made some chili lime beef jerky. Came out really good.
Nice. Sounds delightful.
Needed a little bit of protein boost after doing all that shoveling, so it was good to come back to that.
Very good. Well, with that, let us get into our flick of the week. Wake Up, Dead Man. Released December 12th, 2025. Rated PG-13 with a 2-hour and 24-minute runtime. Your IMDb synopsis. Detective Benoit Blanc investigates a murder at a small Catholic church in upstate New York, where the death of a divisive Monsignor sets him on the most personal case yet.
Yeah.
Pretty accurate. I feel like a very, very Benoit focus, even though I think Father Judd is the core. But
I would say he's. I don't know. It's between him and Ana Darmus, who's the most lead of the movies. I would say this is probably the least Blanc of the movies.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I don't know if he's more central than Ana Darmus is in the first one, or
they're fairly equal.
Similar. I would say Blanc was more focused in the second one of all three of them.
Yeah. I guess Janelle Monáe's character, I feel like, was maybe a little bit like
no, she's still the lead, but like
But yeah, he seems more front and center.
Yeah,
in that romp. What's your hot take?
Another worthy entry into the Blancverse with a strong lead performance and more sacrilegious jokes that a nun could shake a yardstick at. 7.5 out of 10.
I like that. Always a pleasure to be in Benoit Blanc's congregation. A provocative cast and dark religious undertones lead to a divine payoff. 8 out of 10.
Dark ominous tones?
Dark ominous. Bong! The masturbating dog killers at it again. But at least the dogs are happy. What a great movie. Just an absolutely tremendous film. I love that movie so much.
Me too.
But back to this one. Big fan of these movies. I mean, no surprise. I've enjoyed all of them. I at a quick ranking, I would put this right in the middle. I would do like a 1-3-2.
I agree. That would be how I would rank them too.
And
the ensemble felt the least essential in this one.
I agree, but like it's interesting though to say that because like I feel like they were all so much more involved in it.
Yeah, I mean, like from a plot perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's not even like a shot any of them. I think all of them were fine and they were interesting characters, but just like there's so much time just with actually what was it Duplantis? Was that his name? Duplantis, yeah. Father Duplantis, Judd.
Okay.
There's so much time that's just him or just him and Benoit or just him with one other character in a way that like it didn't feel like there was as many ensemble scenes in this one as there were in the first two.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I liked the I could see that. I that being said, like I feel like each of the characters, I feel like it's been a long time since I've seen the first one, but I feel like each of the characters had a pretty significant like darkness to their story that like I know like everybody had their thing going on in the first one, but like it like kind of all fell to the one person who did it all. Where this one, I feel like there was a lot of people at play in the bigger picture.
Which I guess that was a little bit more shared DNA with the second one, right? In that regard.
That's fair.
But yeah, no, I definitely see where you're coming from. But I think they were also able to focus a little more because the cast in the first one is much bigger than it is in the second one.
Yeah, that's true.
And the second one, it makes sense because that's a pandemic movie. We see hallmarks of that. They needed to find ways to shoot it with a little bit more economical scale with respect to how many people are involved. This one obviously shakes the bounds of that some, and they did I would say a better job, but just like a different job of mixing and matching. We got a couple of people here, and we got 3 people there, and we got 4 people there, and we're mixing and matching like throughout the ensemble, which was cool. None of these are necessarily like essentially pros or cons. It's just for me identifying it as all 3 of them are a little different in those ways.
Yeah.
Which is it's not a bad thing. It's
which I actually appreciate it, right? Like that they're different enough that they each have their own DNA and they stand apart. There's obviously the through line of Benoit throughout all of them, and the fact that we're doing a murder mystery. But
the classic murder mystery whodunit, where you're getting all these groups of people doing different things and who did what and how many levels of complicity are there and who knows what and all that and
some very intricate, right? Like a lot of details there. I like that. I do appreciate that the details are there.
Yeah.
All the way through. Like you can pay it. But like I almost find it fun to just be along for the ride though and not be trying to figure out. I mean, you naturally start to gravitate to just like figuring pieces of it out, but it's like it's fun to watch the characters learn what's happening.
The first and the third one did a better job of showing you enough that you could clue into certain things, but not necessarily solve the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Whereas the second one, there were some very obvious things. I think when we did that episode, I pointed out
it was like telegraphed.
There was not necessarily who or what, but that there was something specific going on that would lead you to it. And this one, we don't do the no spoiler thing anymore, and we've been talking about the movie, so let's just say it. But I never would have guessed that he was his son.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, that just wasn't on my radar.
Totally. Yeah. Not on your bingo card.
Yeah. No, it just wasn't like something that was going to like cross my mind in that way. So like that came as a genuine shock. And then once you find that out, it's like, oh, okay, now I can see where those pieces all fit together with all of that. And that part of it makes sense. Versus in the second one, it's funny because you said you hadn't seen the first one in a long time. I've not sat down and watched the whole first one, but that one is actually, despite the fact that it had a theatrical release that went to a quick Netflix release, they actually play that on TV some. So I've seen parts of the first one a bunch of times now.
Okay.
The second one, I watched it when it came out and we were going to do it for the show, and I haven't seen it since then.
Same.
And I liked it, but I just haven't.
Yeah.
I don't rewatch stuff on Netflix. Like, it just doesn't.
Yep. No, I hear
there's not like a natural way for that to come about in my life.
Yeah.
But I remember there being something specific early on when things start going. Oh, it's when the Norton character poisons Dave Bautista.
Mm-hmm.
If you're paying attention, you see him do like the shell game switch thing.
Yep. And
like that part of it's obvious. Now I think the idea that she was the twin of the actual character pretending to be her, that I didn't necessarily coming I want to see, but I knew that the inciting incident is him poisoning him. Like, that was pretty obvious.
Yes, I agree.
In this one, who and why I just wouldn't have seen coming. But there are other aspects of this that you pick up along the way for sure.
Oh, totally.
There were other things I picked up, like when the whole thing happens, when the quote unquote resurrection scene. Yeah. I called that sequence as it was playing out what was going on. Mm-hmm. But that's just in service of the cover up to everything else that's going on. So it's a lesser thing than everything else.
Absolutely. Yeah. And all that stuff was like, it was heavily hinted at too. So like you're going to see it, you see a lot of it coming, but I feel like the actual execution, they bury it well enough. And then I haven't rewatched it, but I was curious about like a couple of pieces and went back to find to see if it's been highlighted and in some breakdowns, but like things like the wolf head on his gown. What do they call that? Well, on his what does the father wear? What is the The thing that he wears is called something.
Is that a stole?
Sure. But the wolf head, like in the scene of him while he's up on the podium and he's like giving his sermon pulpit and it's there. You can see it.
Okay,
go back and watch it, which I wouldn't. You wouldn't. It blends in intentionally. You're not going to notice it. Like if you notice it, it's only because you're
looking for it,
right? Yeah. Which I think is a really cool thing to do. It's like I love the idea, like it's just right there, like it's already.
Yeah,
on
I
like
definitely did not notice it. I would like to go back and see that. That's cool.
So I love that. I love that. Like I just like the way it unfolds. I do like the whole like murder mystery box thing that they've created, where like. Well, it had to happen. It happened in this moment.
Yeah.
And no one's in there. There's no trap door. Like, I love that whole concept and like the thoughtfulness to how it gets arranged and how they execute it and how like the sleight of hand to it and how like Father Judd being human almost makes it so that they miss something. I think that that's really cool. Like he like hides the flask, right? I love that, and that whole scene. I love the way that they did the callback. So in the beginning, it's the letter that Judd is writing to Benoit, right? Like we're hearing the voice over him reading it, and then we get there. I think like maybe halfway through the movie, where he was instructed to write the letter to see if it would unlock something, and that's when he like confesses that he hid the flask and like. That there's that like Benoit like needed to know that so that he could piece more of it together. I just the way that like you like I did it, and you're like, wait, what do you mean you did it? Like, and then it's like, but he was talking about how he did this particular thing. He didn't kill him. Yeah. I did this. I thought that was really fascinating and a nice twist. I was like, wait, are they really going to come out here and just be like, face value, Judd did it like that? Like, there's no way it's going to be that.
It's also probably the most direct version or like the best version of having like the protagonist involved in like the cover up or the mystery, right? Because like in the first one we know the aspects that she's trying to hide, and we know why she's trying to hide them. Like we're sympathetic to her because we know she didn't do it, right. We know she's not responsible, and we know why she's covering up because it's like, oh, at worst she made a mistake, and at best it's she's been framed. Right. And so you are actually sympathetic to, okay, right now she's not being honest and not coming clean. But you understand why she's doing it because it's like, there's no way I'm ever going to explain this. That's not going to end up with me in prison. Right. You know. Right. And in this case, I thought that was a cool variation of that form because you don't have a reason to suspect him. You know that based on the way that these movies are made. And who knows, maybe the next one, the protagonist will be the bad guy. Because that'll be the first time that they create that level of mystery that we wouldn't have anticipated, right? Like it would be a cool twist from everything they've done.
They need this to go on so far that Benoit does it.
Eventually, like
right, he's like these things, like I keep solving these.
So this is such a random funny callback to like a time in our. Did you ever watch what the hell was it called? There was a version of a Scooby-Doo show that ran in, I want to say the 90s, or maybe it was the early 2000s. And I forget which one it's called now, but it's about them as like young kids solving mysteries.
Yes.
Did you watch that one?
Yeah.
So do you remember at the end when they would solve the mystery, it would always at some point in that Fred would always say it was red herring.
Yes.
Who was a character in the show? There was a character named Red Herring.
A pup named Scooby-Doo.
A pup named Scooby-Doo. That's right. That's exactly right. So that was the whole thing. And I always assumed that was like, I mean, obviously the red herring is a thing that's always existed as like not always. It existed for a long time as like a trope in literature, right? But specifically they call it out in Clue, right? Where he keeps going.
Communism
was a red herring. So they keep doing that joke for like multiple seasons of A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. And then finally there's an episode where Fred goes, obviously it's red herring. And they're all like, Fred, you always say that. And it actually is red herring. And now, of course, the twist ends up being that he's actually doing it for the right reasons. And you end up kind of like feeling sympathetic to the whatever. Like he's not doing a crime. He's actually trying to do something nice for his mom or something like that. and it ends up like not being a bad thing. But it's like the first time that Fred is right because he always says it's red herring.
That's great.
So we need that in this universe now, where
absolutely,
where it turns out to be Benoit who did it after all of that.
The other thing that popped up when I was recapping the movie because it's been probably over a month since I've seen it. But it was the thing that was brought up was like all of our bad guys so far have been Avengers.
Oh,
and they finally get Thanos. I was like, wow, that's pretty good.
Well, I mean, he's not really the bad guy, right?
Well, Jeremy Renner.
Oh, you're talking about Jeremy Renner. Sorry, I was thinking of Josh Brolin. You said they get that. No, sorry, from an Avengers movie, he's not an Avenger. Okay, no, I see. Well, I mean, sorry, am I misremembering how this? Renner is not really the bad guy in this.
Well, he kills him.
He killed him, but the son kills him, right?
Am
I misremembering this?
Jeremy Renner kills the Monsignor.
Yeah.
And Glenn Close kills Jeremy Renner.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And the son is just a little whiny bitch, and he's like, he has no idea what went on.
Oh, sorry, I'm actually misremembering the whole end of this movie. In my mind, I was thinking that the son did it because the whole thing was he was trying to get power, right? Because
he wants the money.
Yeah, he wants the. Oh, that's right. Sorry, but he doesn't end up getting the jewel or whatever it is, right?
Right.
Okay,
right,
no,
the jewel is in the crucifix that Father Judd makes by hand.
That's right,
and then puts the jewel in it and puts it up on the.
No, wall. That's right. Okay. Sorry. But, so refresh me then, because I'm also
right, Chris Evans.
No,
guy.
No. Yeah. What? I forget. Why was it just blackmail? Why did Jeremy Renner kill him? Why did he end up killing him? I'm totally drawing a blank on this now.
Well, wasn't Jeremy Renner's character working with the son to get the jewel?
Yeah, I want to say so. That's why I was saying, didn't the son kill him?
And then in the end, is her name Martha? I want to say Martha.
I have it up here. Yes,
Martha has it. I guess took it in that scene where she poisons him. Doesn't she acquire the jewel and then gives it to Father Judd in those like kind of last breaths?
Does she give it to him or tell him where it is?
Tell him where it is. I don't remember.
Yeah, but yes.
Something
yes,
like that's like the general.
She drinks the poison because she knows it's going to be her final confession, and she gives it up to him, and is also trying to make it right. Like she's trying to make it right, and also make her own sacrifice, like her penance in this situation, right?
Right. Which, focusing on her for a moment,
she's a very handsome woman.
I mean, but what a couple of tremendous scenes that she orchestrates. The first of which, so you've met Martha, who, and she steps out from behind Judd, and he's like, Jesus Christ.
Did you ever see, I don't remember if we've talked about this in the show. Have you ever seen the movie Haunted Honeymoon?
I want to say yes. That's
like one of my mom's favorite movies.
Gene Wilder?
Gene Wilder.
Yes.
I'm forgetting the name of the actress. They were married in real life. She was in Clue also. She died early. She had like ovarian cancer or something like that. She plays his wife in the movie as well, and I'm totally drawing a blank on her name.
Not Madeline Kahn.
No. Gilda Radner.
Oh, okay.
Gene Wilder, Gilda Radner, two different people from Game of Thrones. Dom DeLuise, who plays a woman. There's two different people from Game of Thrones.
Jonathan
Price, who's his cousin, who
Paul
plays
L. Smith.
Was he the one?
I don't know who that is.
I'd have to look him up, but there's two different guys from Game of Thrones. One of them played Maester Aemon, who plays his uncle in that movie, and the other one who plays his cousin is Jonathan Price.
Yeah.
He was also in was it Tomorrow Never Dies? He was the bad guy in Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah.
But
Haunted Honeymoon. It's been a long time since I've seen that. I've definitely seen it though.
That's a funny movie. It's kind of dopey, but it's a really clever premise because like the whole thing is it's a movie about a radio show, and the radio show is paralleling the life of the characters putting on the radio show. And so you have to figure out kind of sort of what is the radio show versus what's his real life, because the main character has this crippling PTSD fear of certain things, and you see it overlap with it, and so the whole movie takes place, and you have, I don't want to give it's a fun watch. It's not high drama like stuff. It's not, again, it's not like an Oscar movie, but it's a good entertaining movie. But there's just there was a character in that. There's the housekeeper who she just keeps like popping up in places where you don't expect, and like there was definitely some shared DNA with the Glenn Close character.
That
in there.
was great. There were the two scenes that really, like, I mean, laugh out loud funny, and I rewatched one of them. There was that one where she's hiding behind him, and the way that he reacts is just wonderful. And the second one is when they're all in the house, and she screams. She screams so loud when the woman stands up, and she's like, "I can walk. It just hurts."
Yeah. That was funny. I did really legitimately laugh at that because they tip off the whole point that she's wheelchair bound, and she just gets up, and she's so over the top dramatic how she reacts.
It's so good. Oh man. But it's really the movie. What I really liked about it is I do like the moment where Benoit's like, I can't. What does he say? I can't tell you what happened with this case, or something. I think he says something along those lines. And in hindsight, I think the way that he phrases it is not that he didn't figure it; he doesn't know. It's like I won't. It's more of like I won't tell type of situation, because that's what it ends up being. But at first, you start to wonder. You're like, oh my god, is this where we're going with it? Like he's just completely fried at this point, and he can't. But no, it's not that. He's always got that extra card up his sleeve. Like there's the moral compass part of it, where like he didn't want to out her, and like let it, and he knew that she was gonna. Oh man, I love that. Like when he kind of unveils it, is like the quivering of the lips. Like, I know you took it like there's no reason to make this a big deal now, like that thing.
And it's in a way, it's almost like the other side of the coin to the first one too, right? Where at the end he tells her, "I knew from the first when I saw the blood on your shoe or whatever." Right, like doesn't he say something along those lines? And he was trying to figure out what level of complicity she had with it, or whatever, like whether this was intentional or an accident. And there's an element of the same, like with this one as well, where it's like he knows from the beginning. It's just he's trying to find out who is involved in this conspiracy. Right, that's really it. Is like who is involved, and he knows he's lying from the beginning. But he doesn't know what he's lying about, right?
Yeah.
And, the whole thing was... And that's a cool variation on it, right? Where he's lying to cover up to make him look better, not lying on his own... He's lying on someone else's behalf, not on his own behalf, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to cover for the sanctity of this other priest, who he, by the way, hates, right? But he's not doing it for him. He's doing it for the congregation more than for him himself. And he thinks he's doing right, and whether or not he's doing right, I don't know. And that relationship was not what I expected, and it was interesting and entertaining, and they probably flip-flop 3 or 4 different times on what Josh Brolin characters is or is not in this movie. Early on you could tell there's going to be one of those, well, is he going to get it? Is he not going to get it? Is he going to be cruel about this, or is he going to be the bigger man? Mm-hmm. And he kind of vacillates between those things. And then when they have the confession scene where he's doing the confession, he's talking about all the masturbation and this and that. And you can tell he's doing it very obviously just to inflict the awkwardness on him. Absolutely. It's so fucked up.
It's so bad.
I was laughing so hard.
I love the facial expressions and the way that Father Judd gets through the scenes.
Yeah.
It's so
you
funny.
Can see the pain on his face. Like, come on, man. You know you don't have to do this.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's so ridiculous. And then like when he finally comes at him and he's like that he saw his medical records and he knows that he's been fucking with him and he's like, and this is the proof. And like they almost come to blows. And I was like, this is like it was.
Oh yeah, that's such a great reveal, right? That he's like sterile, right?
Yeah. The whole execution was fantastic. And also like Josh Brolin, I don't know what it is. I just don't love him, but I can't deny that he's played some pretty great roles. And
I wouldn't say that I love him, but I definitely don't dislike him. But their specific role, I mean, he's phenomenal as Thanos.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know what it is. I'm a little turned off by him. But
I like him like him in Dune. I think he's good in that role. I did not to go back to Paul Thomas Anderson, but Inherent Vice, I just didn't get that movie. Like I got it, but I didn't get it. And Brolin's such a weird role in that movie. And he's weird in this one too, but I actually think he played it more or less right. I like him in this role.
Absolutely. I loved hating him.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. He did a good job of playing this character.
And maybe that's what he's good at. Maybe that's why I'm turned off by him. It's like he tends to play a character that I'm not really supposed to like.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's what it is, but no, he absolutely crushed it. And he was just like he was just like so devious. And
he's decent
power hungry.
He's decent as a cipher because he's basically a cipher in No Country for Old Men, right? Like technically I guess you'd say he's the protagonist of that movie, but that movie doesn't really have a protagonist, I would say, to whatever extent. But yeah, he does a good job in this one. But also, even there, you have the unreliable narrator, right? Because what your perception of him early on is very clouded by Father Judd's recollection of everything, and then when you see the quote unquote truth of what happened, it's hard to say that he's a likable person, but he's not necessarily a hateable person either. He's not the way he's cast to be for most of the movie. Like
sure,
because he embraces his son once that all comes to light, and then he gets killed right after that.
Yeah, but isn't he? He's like he is super scummy though.
In what way?
Right? Like I can't fully remember the scene, but like when he breaks it down, like about his son, he's going. I forget exactly what's going to happen, but isn't he going to like out all of them?
Yes, but they were doing wrong.
Sure. But he's not altruistic, though. He's just...
Well, I would say he probably ultimately is in a self-flagellating way because he's going to out his own issues in that, right?
The prostate. What's
that? Oh. Touche. His role is going to be revealed. His own personal sin as a priest is going to be revealed, right? So he's actually doing the right thing in all of that. And it's like, I'm cleaning the slate for everyone. I'm going to admit to my own faults, my own sins. And by the way, you're all going to have your own sins revealed as well, because we need this clearing of the air for everyone, right? Like, you know, so, I mean, you can argue whether or not he should be forcing that on them, but morally, I guess he's doing the right thing. He's saying, hey, listen, we've all done wrong. Let's all get it out there. Like, it's hard to say that he's being bad in doing that, you know? He had done bad, but he's now trying to atone for that.
Is he?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he's trying to atone.
What does he gain from doing that other than atonement?
He just, at the end of the day, he's embracing his son, but he just wants his money. He's just been seeking this fortune. No?
The son is, but not the priest.
The priest is too, no?
Is he?
Maybe I'm misremembering it. And I apologize.
It's also possible I'm misremembering because it's been about a month for both of us. But I thought because doesn't he dies leaving the riddle for where the gem is, right? Doesn't he know?
I'm gonna have to rewatch this. I don't remember.
I thought that was the whole thing, was that he knew, but maybe I'm wrong.
While I don't remember all of the details, I do remember coming. There was nothing good about the Monsignor walking away from that movie.
I thought ultimately he was kind of taking his medicine.
I don't think so.
I don't think it was a get rich quick scheme type of thing. Like I think he had done wrong in the past in fathering the son and all that, but he had taken care of him, and then he's gonna.
Hang on one second.
Do we need a refresher? Are we totally off base?
025.
It's weird. I feel like I should remember this.
Yeah. No. Yes. Let me pull this up. During Good Friday service, he collapsed.
I'm assuming this is all going to be part of the clipped audio.
Martha had to confess to Wick that his grandfather Prentice had swallowed the apple, retrieve it, and use it to retire from the church. He plotted to kill him to preserve the church's reputation. So that's the thing. Like he learns about he wants to get it.
Does he?
Yes. Because he ordered the that was the whole thing. He had signed off on them like opening the tomb before he died.
Okay.
How was he going? Let's see if I can figure this part out. All right, it's coming back. Yeah, and that's why he was throwing it in all their faces. He figured it out. He knew where the gem was. He was gonna go get it, and he was like burning everybody else to the ground. Based on Martha discovered that Wick had ordered a construction company to open the tomb around the time she confessed to him. Right, because she tells him where it is. Right, she has her confession.
I remember there's a whole thing with her calling the construction company and them coming back and what they're going to charge them and what they did and what they were going to do and all that. Because that was the whole thing with how they faked the resurrection. Right, was that the new tomb door was already in place or whatever, right? And you could push it out from the inside.
Yeah. And then once she realized what he planned to do, she came up with this plan for his death. Okay. But now how did she rope in Jeremy? Sure. How does, so she gets teamed up with Nat since he had access to drugs. So his medical access was clearly useful, which makes his betrayal interesting. Don't see. Yeah, I'm missing pieces of this since I'm so far removed from it, and I want to know them. Liam and embrace groundskeeper Samson. Okay. Let's read this real quick. Judd, a former boxer, blah blah blah, which Jefferson refuses to write the crucifix. During Good Friday service, Wicks collapses. He's pronounced dead. The crime seemed impossible, but when the community learns that Judd had drunkenly stolen the thing from the bar and thrown it through the window, suspicion falls on him. Police chief summons private detective. He recruits Judd to assist him, convinced of his innocence. Sure, Wicks claimed to have found Prentice's. They learn that in a meeting just before his death, Wicks claimed to have found Prentice's fortune, stating that he would use it to pursue a career in politics with Kai Draven, his illegitimate son, and publicly shame his other followers.
Okay. I forgot that he was going to get into politics himself. I know the son was a failed politician, but...
Yes. Okay, well, let's just do this. Let's just do this on the thing. We'll read it, and then we'll talk through it, because it'll be... Okay. I feel like that'll correct it. 02, 11, 15. Okay, here we go. So after the police chief summons Benoit, after Wicks and Tolman and Prentice's Muslim, Judd and Blanc question the congregation. They learned that in a meeting just before his death, Wicks claimed to have found Prentice's fortune, stating that he would use it to pursue a career in politics with Kai Draven, his illegitimate son, and publicly shame his other followers. Tired of Blanc's dogged pursuit of justice, Judd quits the investigation. Okay, so that was the part. Like, so like that's where I remember coming away. He's not a good person. Like, he's not coming around. He's all power seeking.
I forgot about the fact that he was going to do the political run. I thought it was just the son doing that. I thought it was the priest saying, "Oh, no, we're all going to atone together," type of thing. And so, yeah, I guess I misremembered that part of it because I forgot that he was going to take the money himself and go out and do that. So,
yes, okay, cool. And then we get to the whole. He drinks the liquor, which causes him to pass out. That's what he does when he collects himself, right? He goes into
he's got the flask, yeah.
He does it, right? And then Nat feigns examining his body and switches out the final knife, stabbing Wicks. And then Blanc has an epiphany and abruptly declares he cannot explain Wick's resurrection. The congregation leaves, right? I cannot explain it. But that was the thing I was talking about before, where that's the phrasing. I cannot explain it. It's not that he doesn't know. He can't do it because he has a reason not to do it. Yeah, I love that. I love when you go back and you listen to that piece of it. It's like it plays as if he just doesn't understand.
Well, it's because he knows that he tampers with the crime scene, right? But he doesn't know to what extent and why, right? Because Judd collects the flask.
Well,
right?
That's at the very end when he says he can't explain it, so that everybody leaves because he doesn't want to out Martha because he knows that she's about to die.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, because he's waiting for her to give her confession and give them the answers they're looking for, right? Like knowing that she's poisoned herself.
Yeah. And so then the pieces that we glossed over were the fact that Martha confesses. So because Judd pushes her, Martha confesses to the Monsignor that she knows where Eve's apple is, and then learns that he's going to retrieve it from the tomb and leave the congregation, and she can't let that happen. So she plots this whole demise of him. What I don't remember still is how she convinces Dr. Nat to get involved. Does it have something to do with his wife leaving?
So actually, it's funny because I was going to ask you that part of it, and I forgot. Was he part of her scheme, or was he doing his own thing? No, it must have been because she confronts him at his house, right?
Yeah, and he's the one that gives her the stuff to put in the flask to make him pass out.
Yeah. Oh, because he was going to take the money himself. That's what it was. He was going to abscond with the money himself, or with the jewel himself.
Right. And he was going to poison Martha.
Yeah. Because so when they were going to do this together, and when he saw dollar signs and was like, oh, I'm going to make it look like I'm helping her, but I'm actually going to run off with it. And she figures out something's wrong, and so she confronts him, and then he goes to poison her, and she hits him with the iocane powder switcheroo.
Yeah.
And that's how he ends up getting killed, right? And then she dumps him into the vat of the sulfuric acid, right, to make it look like... But that's how we get the whole zombie situation, or the zombie resurrection situation, right? Because the whole thing was that they fake his resurrection so that they can use him to make it look like he faked his own death and then killed him.
Right. What a twist.
Yeah, that twists within twists.
Yeah. But yeah, and then to about the gem we were talking earlier, how did Judd get it? When she confesses to him, he absolves her of her sins, and she drops it as she dies. She's holding it, and then he grabs it.
Yes.
Okay, and that's how. Cool. We got there. We were a little rusty. It's been a minute since we both watched the movie, but we've come back around.
We had planned to do this episode 2 weeks ago.
we absolutely did. But still, what a blast! Just a fun watch. Confirmed, Monsignor, not a good person.
Yeah.
But Martha, doing the Lord's work.
Doing the right thing for the wrong reasons, or doing the wrong thing for the right reasons.
It's unclear.
She's not doing it for her own personal gain. So from that perspective, right, and she tries to make it right in the end, and she like I said, she takes her own penance, right? She's not trying to get away with anything. She says, hey, listen, I got some things wrong here, and maybe she shouldn't have killed herself, but what I'm getting at. It was this, it wasn't going to end with her on a beach somewhere because she stole the gem for herself. That was not what she was going for in all this.
Right.
You can question whether she should be enforcing her own perception of these morals on everyone and all that. And that's fair. But, unlike some of the other characters, she's not doing this for her own personal gain in that way.
Right.
So I guess a tragic figure.
Yeah, sure.
Although not quite as tragic as her not quite lover, who was
Samson? Was that his
name? It's a Tom Hayden Church, right? Or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever his name is.
He got I Know What You Did Last Summer with that. Can you verbify that?
Can you verbify?
Yeah. But okay, so they put him now it's all becoming a little bit more clear. They put him in the casket. They take the father's body, they bury him so that he can retrieve the thing and come out through the Lazarus door, and Nat kills him to take it for himself.
Yes.
Right? And they were gonna
because the two of them were gonna frame the Father Judd, right? Because don't they knock him unconscious and they're gonna frame him or something like that?
No, Samson, is that his name? Was his name Samson?
Yes.
He wasn't. I don't think he was like bad. He just got caught up in this. There was no plot against Judd. He caught them by surprise and he knocked them out.
Oh yes, that's right. Okay.
And then Nate found this, like, I guess thought, like, in that moment, like,
that's
realized, this is my out. Yeah. So I'll kill him, make it look like Judd, do all these things.
That's right.
And then Martha figures it out and pulls the old Sicilian switcheroo, and then
never go into it with a Sicilian when death's on the line.
Oh man, but it was a lot. It was a lot of fun. I will watch these as long as they're willing to make them. That being said, I'll pull up a number here. Very, very annoying to me. So Wake Up Dead Man's theatrical was roughly 4 million. It was a limited release as compared to Glass Onions.
Yeah, it was only like a week day to date, right? Like,
yeah. And it had to do, Netflix couldn't book AMC, Regal, or Cinemark. Those theaters wanted a 30-day theatrical window, and Netflix only offered 17. Yeah. It's like, why?
So this is the thing.
At the point of you're going to go into the theater and you're going to distribute it, why not do it a little bit longer?
This is the thing I will continue to never understand about pretty much any of the streaming services, but in particular Netflix. If you want to make some of these lower budget movies that are going to direct to Netflix and you think that's going to drive and or retain subscribers, okay. I still don't believe in the mathematical model of that, but
I don't believe you.
But I understand the premise, right?
Sure.
I'm skeptical of the numbers, but I understand the premise.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to have a bigger budget thing, not trying to get your money's worth out of the theatrical release, there's just no way that these movies overall are going to recoup the investment that they put into them. Like, I just don't. I still fundamentally don't understand what any of these streamers are accomplishing with these. We're going to pay a lot of money to make this movie and only release it on ours. Like, there's not that many new subscriptions you're getting out of that. Like, you're just never going to break even on that.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm not in their finance departments, and we all have known for like a century that the math on what these studios make or don't make and what they claim they're losing is always going to be funny money, and it's fine. We don't have to understand how it works to know that that's how it works, and so like you can just assume that when these things happen, that's why they're doing it, and that's fine. It's not financially viable to make this movie and only have it as a Netflix movie. It's not financially viable to do this and like cut off your own nose to spite your face and say we're going to do a week or two theatrical release because we want people to be watching this on Netflix. There's not a big enough ad-supported model there to do that. If you're going to drive major ad revenue through all of that, in addition to your subscription model, fine. Yeah. But even with Netflix now having ads, it's still not going to pay for that in the way that they're deploying it. Like, that's not real. Like, there's a wide difference between that and FX paying to have Star Wars and putting it on and running that 2-hour 15 movie across a 3.5 hour window and ad supporting all of that. Like, it's not the same thing.
Well, and this is what we've got right now. So,
but you know what? Wall Street keeps giving them billions of dollars to do it.
Yeah.
So maybe we're the fools for continuing to question it, but we've been questioning it for like a decade because it still doesn't make sense. In the same way that MoviePass didn't make sense.
I'm gonna give you $10 and I'm gonna go see all the movies.
I just. And also, I'm sometimes gonna give you $10 for popcorn. It's not enough.
Yeah. Oh man, I know we barely touched on like some of the other characters, like the ensemble, but I mean they were largely strong performances, right? They were all just like members of the congregation with their own little things going on. It doesn't. I don't think we have to dive too deep into any of them in particular.
So we didn't talk about the hot priest at all.
Worth it. I love him.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, he's solid. I obviously loved him as hot priest, but he's just a tremendous Moriarty.
Which one is he Moriarty in?
In the why can't I think about that guy's name? Oh my god.
Is it Benedict Cumberbatch?
You. Yes, in that one.
I actually didn't know he was Moriarty in that. That's interesting.
That is, I mean, those if you've never watched them, well,
no, but I know they're supposedly really good. It was Martin Freeman, right?
So good. Yeah. And I think the coolest part about it is like it's a form factor of television that I'm not familiar with, where it's like a season is like 3 episodes and each episode is like an hour. Each episode is basically a movie.
The Stranger Things model.
No, this is like this is consistent. Like
no, I know. I was talking about the final season.
Yeah, but it was it's really, I remember a few.
Well, that's what they did with
watching those and being like blown away by it.
You never ended up watching it, right? And I never watched it. The Continental on Peacock.
No, never did watch that.
The Wick prequel. Yeah, that's what they did, right? Wasn't it? It was one season of like 3 or 4 episodes that were each like almost an hour and a half long. It was basically
I'm down with that, but
3 or 4 movies, quote unquote, together that made a season.
I didn't realize that's what they did, but yes, that sounds.
I didn't know until it released that that's what they were doing, but I never ended up watching it. But I heard right before it came out that I think we talked about it on the show at the time.
Yeah,
that's what they were releasing. I was like, oh, that's a different thing, and I actually didn't realize that's how that Sherlock did it.
Yes, and it's awesome. And I think I watched 3 seasons, and there might be 4 or 5. I
know they at a certain point had a kind of a Curb Your Enthusiasm thing where it's like, whenever you guys decide to make another season, we'll do it.
Yeah, I have to go back and I actually want to rewatch it with Kim from the beginning, because it's been long enough that like I definitely don't like remember, and I just remember being so entertained by the performances that like rewatching it would be.
It is an interesting pairing. I like both those actors, and I wouldn't have necessarily 100% like guessed at them playing those roles, but I can see it, you know.
And they pull it off so well.
Yeah.
Now I just want to go watch that. Any closing thoughts on Wake Up Dead Man?
No, like you said, I thought the ensemble was good. Unfortunately, they aren't really noteworthy in that way, but I liked all of them. I mean, I would say that maybe they didn't give like Mila Kunis or Jeffrey Wright enough to do in this movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you could maybe even say, they didn't even give like Kerry Washington and Andrew Scott enough to do, but they were good in the parts that they did, and Kaylee Spenny's good, and we like her and all that, and you know, we like everyone in this movie, right? You know, and they all did a fine job. It would have been nice to get more out of a couple of them, but I also don't. It's not immediately obvious to me where and how you would do that either. So
sure, and I think it's okay, because I think like it's fun to see like a big player come in and do a smaller part. They get to chew up the scenery when they're in it, but they're not overstaying their welcome and trying to steal the spotlight or anything. They're just having a moment when their character is used.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
Also, Josh O'Connor did a really good job in this.
God. Yeah,
he was from Challengers, right?
I don't even know. I know he
wasn't
was in some
the tennis movie with
he's in that
Zendaya? Wasn't he one of the two guys?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Am I totally wrong on that? I never saw it either. But
he was in Challengers.
Yeah,
God's Own Country, La Chimera, The Mastermind, History of Sound, bonus track Lee. Yeah. Anyway, he was great. He was absolutely fantastic. Great, like awesome performance.
Really
likable out of the gate. Like yeah, big fun.
I liked him a lot in this. I never saw that other movie, and so I'm not super familiar with his work, obviously. But he was a pleasant surprise in this, and I mean, he carried it, and they asked him to carry it, and he did an able job of that. I liked him in this role. I thought he had a decent amount of range. I thought he was entertaining in this role, and he helps make this movie because they really put a lot more on his shoulders than I would have guessed. I thought he was asked to carry more even than Ana de Armas or what's her name? I'm totally drawing a blank on her name now.
Janelle
Monáe, that's right.
Yeah, totally. I agree. Absolutely enjoyed watching this one. I will watch these as long as he wants to make them. I'm here for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's especially if we're going to get them on Netflix, it's a low barrier of entry to just sit down and watch this for 2+ hours at a given time.
That's true. Well, that's all for this week's episode of Flix in the Six. We hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you have a movie for us to review or nuggets for us to discuss, you can send those requests to flixinthe6@thespintune.com. Tune in next time for more movie and beer goodness. Until then, I'm Anthony Costanzo.
And I'm Biolsi.
Thanks for coming out.